Here are the moments you need to know about from episode 10 of Beyond the Gates on this cliffhanger Friday. Can we have a moment for Danny? A sheer moment. She was literally turning the page on her relationship with Bill, had accepted it was over. She was telling her family she had celebrated with them, her daughters, her parents. And then in walks Jacob to arrest her for attempted murder. Now, I have to say, I did see this coming because you just don't get to go to a crowded space like a wedding and fire a gun. He arrests her for attempted murder. And it would appear that even though it seemed Vernon had gotten the cop who took the report to not arrest her, Bill clearly knows someone in the police department and he wanted to file charges, and that's what he's doing. So, this is going to keep the ongoing Bill, Haley, and Danny narrative going for quite some time. And something from the last episode, Bill clearly has PTSD from being shot. There was a quick scene with him looking at pictures of his wedding day with Haley, and then he flashback to the gun going off, and he's clearly shaken by that whole ordeal. So even though he has not told anyone that, I think this is factoring into him wanting to have Danny arrested and to get back at her in some way. So it's no surprise to Kat that Chelsea is a swinger or enjoys having sex with couples. I love this new generation of kids because I kind of feel like they're Gen Z, and I don't think Gen Z labels anything. They just do whatever they want, and I'm here for it. But Chelsea and Kat have a conversation on the top of Garland Memorial Hospital, and she cannot get over Eva. You know, she walked in on her going through her mom's computer, and her parents are just dead set on trusting Eva and saying, Kat, you cannot look down at this girl because she hasn't had the same opportunities as you. Even Chelsea was like, just chill. Like, your mom has this under control. But clearly, Kat's instincts are right, and Eva is up to no good. She actually bumps into Leslie at the hospital, who came right after she got that video in a nice wig, I might add. A different wig from whenever we saw her the very first time, the long black Naomi-esque Naomi Campbell looking wig. Um, but yeah, and she does something crazy because she is a couple of screws are loose. She, at the end of the episode, is threatening to jump off the hospital building, and she has demanded to see Nicole because she's a psychiatrist and can hopefully talk her down. But she has told everyone she just wants her to come up there. So we end the episode, and it is Nicole talking to Sherry, I believe as she called herself, and this is how she is going to get connected with Ted. Now, in the previews for next week, we see Ted berating Leslie, and perhaps he knows her, or maybe he doesn't know her. Like, we just don't know their connection. Like, we know what Leslie says, but it just seems from everything we've learned about Ted, he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would have stepped out on Nicole even for a quick fling. Maybe this was right before Nicole. We will see, because it is a soap opera, and you know, all men are terrible. All men are terrible, so we never know. Also, Shanice Ernestine steals every scene that she's in, while Nicole was berating Kat and telling her to back off of Eva. In the background, making all the faces I was making while watching this, she was making, getting all the tea, all the gossip to spread in the group chat to say, "Girl, did you hear about Nicole?" Shanice. Shanice is my favorite character, obviously, and I love that she's always at the hospital, so she works a lot of hours, getting in all that OT because you know we love nurses, even nurses who appear not to do much work, but nurses that like to gossip. You want to be a part of this?
No, I do not.
He's not watching Beyond the Gates, and that's okay. Just run upstairs. So, also in this episode, we learn a little bit more about the McBrides, Vanessa and Doug. They have twins, and they're off to college. And like a lot of parents, their identity was wrapped up in being parents. I have neighbors. They have a 1 year old, and they have said it has been hard whenever they meet people to talk about anything else but their kid. So the McBrides have sent their kids off to college, and then they, you know, like you look around, and they felt like, what I got gathered from the episode, that they just didn't have much in common other than their shared parenting of these children. So I think it's known that they both cheat and gamble. And you know how I feel about that. Please give me a cheater any day of the week. And I don't even think in this like relationship that it's cheating. I think that they are content with the life they have on the outside. Whenever they come together, it's great. They clearly don't have sex. There's not a lot of love there, but it's kind of like a marriage out of stability for their family, and they're able to go off and do whatever they want. Plus, I think a lot of times in relationships, people want their partners to be everything. And that's just impossible. I cannot be a 25-year-old for my guy who just ran upstairs. I'm never going to be 25. And if he wants to go have sex with a 25-year-old, who am I to stop him? Same for me. Like he's never going to be 25 again. He's older by 2 years. Okay, 13 months, but it's a joke that we have. So what I'm saying is, I think the McBrides are content with how they're living. And I think the bigger issue is the gambling. So Doug is clearly a serial gambler. He owes this casino a lot of money. And he meets up with the owner who says, you know what, your debt's paid off and here's more money because I know you're going to be good for it. You're going to win. But the house always wins. Like you don't gamble. Don't gamble because you're going to lose. Like, think of all the things that you could buy with that money. Think of the trips you could take, the money you could save for your retirement. Buy nice clothes. Yeah. So the casino owner, who's played by an actor by the name of John Lindstrom, who came from General Hospital, says right after Doug gets out of his car, Doug's friend from growing up, which I think his name was Robbie, I forget his name, that guy's like, hey, Doug does not have a poker face and he's going to lose this money. And that's what the casino owner is betting on. He wants him in deep debt with him so then he can use him for whatever shady casino owners do. So that's going to be tough. And I hope that it doesn't, involve Vanessa, but I have to imagine in some way it's going to have to involve her because as we learned last time, in the last episode, her family does have money. It's loaded. So yeah, that is going to be an interesting storyline whenever it comes out that he owes this man all this money. I have to give a shout out to the writers of this show who are doing the research and really putting details in the show that people who know history would actually get. So, what do I mean by that? Danny is talking to her family before she's arrested, and she's talking about her modeling career and how whenever she first started, she was just known as Anita and Vernon Dupree's daughter. And then there was a moment where she was walking down the runway and she falls down, laughs it off, gets back up, and continues down the runway. And then she is forever known as Danny in the ranks of Naomi and Cindy. Now, for those of us who know, Naomi Campbell had that same incident really happened to her. It was the 1993 Vivienne Westwood show where she's walking down the runway and she's talked about this, how the shoes were just terribly tight. She couldn't feel her toes. And then she falls down, laughs it off, gets up, keeps on going. It's just like little things like that that makes me realize there's a lot of thought and attention to detail put into the show. And that's why I'm so happy to do these videos because if we want to see this show continue, we have to continue supporting it. And besides watching it on TV, I'm doing my part by making these videos. As always, if you liked it, let me know what you liked about it. And if you didn't, don't tell me, please. No, you can tell me if I left something out. And as always, I will see you. I'll see you on Monday because it's the weekend. Cliffhanger Friday, baby.